Here we go.
I'm good right here.
It's not this type of show. Welcome. Look at the cheerleaders. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are very excited to be kicking off a week of shows here at TCO. Thank you. Have a seat, everybody. Have a seat. Welcome as we kick off a special week of shows here at TCO Performance Center, everybody, the home of the Minnesota Vikings. And behind me, I've never had cheerleaders. Let me tell you, I was a cheerleader mountain high school, but that was about it. Say hello to Raquel and Emma, everybody from the Minnesota Vikings cheerleader squad. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. We'll see them a little bit later. Well, welcome. We're so excited to kick off, like I said, a special week of shows. And I couldn't think of a better person to be here with. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up from a good friend. It's Miss Kendall, everybody. Hi, sweetie.
Hi. Hey.
You look lovely over there.
You look so handsome. I'm like that purple suit.
Well,
hey.
you know, it was so funny. I had a list of colors I should not wear. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Y'all know. Thank you, audience. You know what suit I will not be wearing this week, but I wore the purple. It is. We should say first and foremost, thanks to everybody here. We've been prepping for this week of shows. Yeah. We've been prepping for this week of shows for a while, so I want to start off by saying thanks to our behind-the-scenes crew and thanks to the fine men and women here at TCO. They've treated us like family this week, right? They've been so good to us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this place is honestly phenomenal. It's so beautiful here. I'm just like...
I know, it's so, we have I was telling our boss, Mimi, who's in the audience today, I said, we love our set, we do, we are very grateful, but we have a little set envy. So when the Vikings aren't looking, we're going to pack it up in the back of the van and take it back to Eden Prairie.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah.
A really big flatbed truck.
Yeah.
Just a really big one.
You're going to put it in your pickup truck?
Yeah.
That's right.
My pickup truck.
Yeah. You look fantastic, though.
Thanks.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did, but I mean, my weekend was fun, but we got to talk about Pride.
Yes, I was, we have some video before we roll it. I was, I do a radio show on My Talk 107.1, and we were in the Pride Parade yesterday, and the Fox 9 cameras are out there, and I was like, oh, look, it's my other job right there. So I think we have a little video with me with my little wings on. I had my shirt with my name on it so I wouldn't forget who I am. A dancing panda. It was our Pride pontoon. It was crazy. It was so nice to see everybody. And the weather held out, everybody. I was really worried. Yeah, it was a great weekend. And I got to tell you, I have no vanity left, so I tell you everything. Friday night I went out, probably a little too late. Again, the aforementioned boss, Mimi, has a great line. She says, nothing good ever happens after midnight. And she's absolutely right. Because I was out, are you ready for this? I was out till 2 a.m. on Friday. Yeah. I haven't seen 2 a.m. since George W. Bush was president. Yeah. So I was out, and this is how big of a fool I am. You guys know those scooters, the scooters that are all in the metro? Yeah, and you rent them, and they're motorized. So it's about midnight, and I live downtown, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to scoot my butt home, safety butt home.
Great idea.
So I wobble up to one of these scooters, and I'm scanning it, and I'm taking my watch, and I'm scanning it, and I'm trying to move it, and I'm pressing it, and I'm going, and I'm out there for about, no joke, 10 minutes in the middle of the night trying to get this scooter, and this guy pulls up, I'm just going to call him Rick. Rick pulls up in a giant pickup truck that's backfiring. It's like, ba-boom, 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 and he's pulling, and he pulls up next to me, and I'm like, oh no, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
And he rolls down the window, and he goes, hey, Chief? And I go, yeah. He goes, those don't work after 11. And I said,
oh, Rick with the win.
So So from now on, I would like to be referred to as, hey, Chief. Hey, Chief. Yeah.
I can do that.
Hey, speaking of, now watch the audience go nuts. We couldn't think of a better way to kick off this special week of shows. Speaking of Chief Hopper is here in the house, everybody. David Harbour from Netflix's Stranger Things, which is kicking off its new season on the 4th of July. David is here for his only live TV interview while he's visiting the Twin Cities, so we are thrilled to have him. That's right. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't care where we are. I don't care where we do the show from. We always do this. It's time for the hot dish. Let's go. David Harbour's in the purple room going, what the hell's a hot dish? You know,
Delicious.
Let's start off. How many of you have seen The Bodyguard? Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. The movie is iconic, the soundtrack is iconic, and the movie poster, y'all know it, is also iconic. Well, in a new interview with Entertainment Tonight star, now take a good look at this, everybody. Come back to the TV. I need y'all to look at this for just a second. You know I love good behind-the-scenes stories. Well, in a new interview with Entertainment Tonight, Kevin Costner, who not only, you guys don't know that, you may not know this, Kevin, I call it everythinged this movie. He starred in it. I think he was a producer. He was in charge of the soundtrack. We'll get into that later. But he revealed something to E.T. that I didn't even know. Listen to this. No soundbite. That's right. Okay. Well, he revealed.
I can say something.
Live TV. That's why I love it. Look at this. In that movie poster, it's Kevin holding Whitney Houston, right? No, it's not Whitney Houston.
What?
He's holding her his stunt double. That's right. Her stunt double. And Whitney went home that day. They needed a shoot. They needed a picture.
Yeah.
They got that picture, and Kevin Costner's so good, he looked and he goes, that's the poster right there. That's the poster. And that's what they made.
For real?
That's the poster.
So it's not Whitney. It's her body double in The Bodyguard. Get it? Oh, come on, it's funny. It's Monday. Jace, cut me some slack.
She's
It's
quick,
Monday.
isn't she? She's fantastic today, yeah. Well, and before, he also talked about something else, but, speaking of movie posters, I always love a good fun fact. You guys know The Graduate? The Graduate,
Yep.
Mrs. Robinson. Mm-hmm. You know how in my life everything goes back to what? Oprah or Dallas, okay?
Right. Yes.
So you would think, that famous poster with the legs over Dustin Hoffman? You would think that was Anne Bancroft. No, that's Sue Ellen Ewing. That's Linda Gray. That's her legs. Yeah.
Oh, she got some nice legs.
Thank you. And right now, David Harbour going, who the hell's Sue Ellen Ewing? Yeah. He also revealed something about Field of Dreams, another one of his legendary movies. I love Field of Dreams so much. He almost didn't get the role. It almost went to somebody else. Look at this.
If you build it, he will come.
Hey, Annie! Annie, what was that?
What was what?
That voice just now, what was it?
We didn't hear anything.
Here we go.
If you build it, they will come to TCO. I love that movie. Well, listen to this. Y'all probably guessing who almost got that role. The late Robin Williams almost got Kevin Costner's role, but ultimately the director thought, this is great, because Robin, he was so fantastic. They thought that Kevin could display the disbelief at hearing voices more than Robin could. But
Like Robin could hear voices?
Because Robin, could you imagine? Robin could be Charlie Chaplin one minute, he could be the genie one minute, so yeah, But you know what? But if you stop, I can picture Robin in that role too.
Is there any role you can't picture him in? He was so multifaceted, so talented.
Do you ever see 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams? So good. Such a good movie.
No,
But anyway,
never
Field
seen
of Dreams
anything.
available on streaming next. Let's move to TV. How many of you guys watched the Walinda stunt special yesterday over there on ABC? Okay. Thanks for humoring me, audience. I appreciate that. One woman in the third row. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. I'm just going to clap.
Yeah.
So it was a high wire act over Times Square. So these goobers, their brother and sister, a tightrope 25 stories high on live television. Look at this.
Oh, this is tight. Hold on.
You're good where you're at.
Hold on.
You don't have to move. I'm gonna do this. What do you think, New York City? What do you think, world? All right, my dear. You just do what you gotta do, all right?
Yep, I got it.
That wire is really solid.
I hooked this pull in wrong. Hold on.
No. No. How about no? How about never?
Jason,
So,
what if we do that?
Never.
You could crawl over
Never.
me. Jeez. This is like team building 101.
No, I had the Fox insurance policy somewhere around here. I don't think that covers. Mim is here. I'll check with the boss. I don't think we're covered for high wire acts.
just saying.
So here's the deal. Oh, is the audience booing Mim? I love that. They're booing my boss. She's a good woman. You're a good woman, ma'am. They're not. I love you. It's not me. You know, Mim hired me 22 years ago from Red Lobster. Did you know that? Yeah.
Woman's
First
got
boss
faith.
on TV. Anyway, this is what, we got to go, but the woman, the sister, she almost died doing that 2 years ago. Yeah,
Really?
hello.
Oh, yeah, she fell.
This is what I say. First, God sends a little pebble to you. Then he sends a rock. Almost dying over Times Square, boulder, yeah. Guys, as I said, we have such a good show. Go grab another cup of coffee and meet me back here in 2 minutes. Back after this.
Today on The Jason Show, one of the stars of the Netflix hit show Stranger Things is in the house. We're chatting with David Harbour about Season 3, which debuts next week. And then, because we're at the home of the Vikings, we're showing off their new digs. Kendall is going inside their museum, which is open to the public. That and more when The Jason Show returns live from the TCO Performance Center.
It's building something.
No matter what happens, we have to stop him. Together.
Now it's time.
We are going to end you. We are going to end your friends. And we are going to end everyone.
Our kids are in danger. We need to end this. I can fight.
Better than any of us. But I need you safe. What the hell?
That's the brand new trailer for the new season of Stranger Things. The mega hit on Netflix, which debuts July 4th. Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled. I can't believe I'm saying this. Live in our studio right now, give it up for Chief Hopper himself, David Harbour, everybody. Welcome, sir. It's Chief Hopper, everybody. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Oh, God.
Wow, thank you.
Oh, God. Welcome.
Thank you. I have an enormous head. It's not, guys. Unfortunately.
I do too. I can't wear most hats, most
Too bad.
anything. No. Anyway, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Well, welcome. You've been to Minnesota before, haven't you?
I have. Yeah. I've spent some time in Minnesota. I've been to the
Wait.
Minnesota.
You say like that you have a story, did you?
Well, I mean, the only thing is, you know, and I'm upset that it isn't going on now. I forgot when to go, but I went to the Minnesota State Fair.
End of August.
Oh man.
That's a party.
I mean, I've not been to tons of state fairs, but I think that one is the best, right?
Oh,
I mean, like, cheese curds and livestock judging and
everything fried on a
the
stick.
butter queen.
Yeah. Woman carved out of butter.
I know, carved out of butter.
I know. New season. I got to ask you, was there a moment, I always like when people are in, and this is a phenomenon, absolutely, it's an overused word, but Stranger Things is a phenomenon. You're busy doing the work, you shoot the first season, you get done, you go about your life. Was there like a grocery store moment? Was there an outing at the mall where you were like, Shazam, this is huge? You know what I mean? Because you did the show. You don't know how it's going to be received.
I wish I'd said that phrase, though.
Shazam! Yeah.
Shazam, this is huge. The entire thing. You're like, Shazam, this is huge. No, there was. I mean, like, it's a funny thing. I don't know if... so I have a cell phone.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway,
is that a new development?
Up the audience.
That's
because
right. They're clapping because you have a cell phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, and I have like so many numbers in there. I don't know if you, but like you'll meet somebody and like 3 years ago, and it'll be like somebody you went to high school with. So you'd be like, "Oh, give me your number," and like you give it, and then you just never use it, right? So I have like about 100 numbers, of which I use maybe like 10 or 15. And then that weekend that the show came out, every single number that I had on my phone from some person 6 years ago or 10 years ago was just like, Shazam, this is huge. They were just like, they weren't like that, but they said Stranger Things, oh my God. And so that's when I knew. I was like, oh, this is different than anything else I've ever done. Like, people really... embraced this show, really moved by the show, and, they sort of discovered it, and, it was big.
And after the success of 1 and then 2 comes out, it's huge. Everyone's interested. Everyone wants to know what's happening. Do you guys have to do, like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in Star Wars, you get scripts with invisible ink, or there's a stormtrooper there that'll shoot you on the spot if you walk out. What's the level, I'm fascinated by this, what's the level of secrecy on this? Like, do you only get your scripts? Do you get what do you get? How do they handle that?
I mean, it's supposed to work that way, yes. But I'm kind of a jerk about the whole thing because, look, when we started this show, when the first season came out, there was no advertising. There was nobody cared about this show. We couldn't sell this. I mean, we couldn't give it away to people on the street. And so, we created the show, and the way we created it was by reading scripts and by getting them, and that's the way I like to work, with paper scripts and move on. And so by the time the second season rolled around, everybody was telling me, like, no more scripts. And I was like, no, not for me.
Yeah.
So
give me some paper.
Exactly. I'm kind of a jerk about it, but there is a person, like a PA on set, who just follows me around to grab my script and burn it as soon as I'm done with it. Yeah.
I know Netflix folks are here. I don't want to get you in trouble. What? I don't want to be shot down by a drone.
Exactly.
What can you tell us? Because that trailer, we've shown that trailer. That is, whoever in marketing, that's a fantastic trailer.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this way. You saw the first scripts of season 3. Your reaction was?
I mean, it's incredible. They keep getting better and better at what they do. Yeah. It's a different season too. Last season was Halloween. Season before that was kind of Thanksgiving. This is July 4th, so it's like kids are out of school, swimming pools, barbecues, fireworks, Independence Day, teens going through hormonal changes, adults going through fashion and facial hair changes. So it's kind of a light, exciting summertime show, and then at the end, there's a real gut punch of... the last episode we shot, I think, is the most beautiful thing we've ever shot. It's I consider it very profound.
There was an audible gasp in our audience.
Well,
that was our boss, Mem, once again. Yeah.
You know what you'll be saying? Shazam.
More with David Harbour when we come back, live at the TCO Performance Center. Back after this. with Stranger Things star David Harbour. I came out. Thank you, everybody. I came out to the with the Vikings cheerleaders, and you said it would be great just to have cheerleaders at every appearance. Yeah.
Or just walking around behind me during life, just occasionally when I'm sad. Just be like,
Yay,
come on,
David!
you can do it! That'd be
You're
amazing.
great, David.
Yeah. Be expensive, though.
It would be very expensive, yeah. We have some video. David's been here for a couple days. How we've been treating you well? Minnesota's been treating you well?
I love Minnesota. I love the Midwest.
Yeah.
I love Minnesota.
What did you do? I was seeing on social media, what did you do at Mall? You surprised people at Mall of America?
Yeah, I went to... it's not a mall. It's also an amusement park.
Yeah, Nickelodeon Universe. Yeah,
it's incredible.
Look at you. Are you working the rides?
Yeah. So there's there's a log ride thing, which I guess they changed into a Stranger Things kind of event.
Oh, nice.
There's There's Paul Bunyan used to be in there, but now it's a 25-foot Chief Hopper.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They turned him into Chief Hopper?
Yeah.
Oh, that is great.
He kept his axe, though, which is strange to see Chief Hopper, wielding an enormous axe.
Yes. How do you look 25 feet tall?
My waistline's a little bit bigger, but other than that, I look pretty good.
The fans have gotten into it so much, and the marketing has exploded. Do you ever get used to the fact that you're on T-shirts? Like, I went into Target when we found out you're going to be on the show, and I'm like, oh, dude's on the... Do you ever get used to the fact that your mug is on a T-shirt and mugs and hats and...
I do.
Is that weird?
Get used to it. No, it's funny, because, I have no association with it anymore. Like, it's almost like you do something, you put it out in the world, and now it's like all of ours. Like, Hopper is, I'm as much of a fan as anybody else. I don't associate with him. Like, I just see him.
You think of it as a different person?
As an action figure or as a T-shirt, yeah, and I think of it as like, oh, that's Chief Hopper. I love that guy. Like, when I don't really think of it as David Harbour. I think of it as, I don't know.
That guy is Shazam. He is just,
This is huge.
He's huge. That's so funny, though, when you see yourself on Lunchbox.
Maybe that's because I don't get any money for it either. So part of the reason why I don't associate. That's the awe, too.
The audience is...
Look at that. They're very sympathetic to, like, a lot of my, like...
You were mentioning, folks, the reaction they're going to have in the last episode. Do you think people are going to be shocked by this news? I see you smiling. Are they going to be shocked by this one?
Yeah, I think the ending is very, very shocking. But as I say, like, one of the really interesting things about the show is that you have these kids who I knew when they were 11 and 12 and, like, little pudgy, tiny little creatures, right? And now they've, like, grown up and they all are, like, rock stars.
They have agents.
Yeah, but they're also, like, just towering over. I mean, there was a shot of, like, I remember little Will Byers when we were saving him in the Upside Down. He was like, and now there was a shot of him and Winona, and he's just towering over her. So one of the most moving things about the show this season is the fact that it's like not even acting. It's just the fact that these kids are growing up in front of your eyes, and there's something about not wanting to let go of people when they're children, right? And sort of seeing them as a father figure, like seeing always like your little girl and then watching her grow up, and there's a real profound something to the passage of time itself, and we explore that in the series as well.
I see the kids in interviews, and they seem to be handling. I mean, fame's rough for adults. It's pretty near impossible for a kid to wrap his brain around it. They seem to be handling the fame train well.
They do well in interviews, but off stage, it's a nightmare. I mean, it's like just throwing that, Gaten Maserati, just throwing cups of coffee at assistants, going, not hot enough. I'm kidding, of course. Of course I'm kidding. They're lovely. They're lovely kids. I mean, it's part of the reason why they're such good actors is like they really just are real kids, and that's what you see in the show, and that's like who they are.
Well, I got to tell you, thank you for coming in. I know who's your team? Because I know you're a big sports fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm big into boxing, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm big into boxing. Yeah, pugilism. They're like, oh, Oh, no, come on, football. There's some, yeah.
Well, welcome. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Come back whenever.
Thanks,
David Harbour, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Season 3 of Stranger Things, July 4th on Netflix. When we come back, Kendall's giving us a tour of the Vikings Museum. We are live at TCO Studios. Back after this, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are live at TCO Studios at the TCO Performance Center. Again, it is absolutely beautiful, and I just want to thank all the folks here for making us feel at home. Speaking of feeling at home on this campus is ginormous and gorgeous. One of the cornerstones, one of the jewels of this campus is the Vikings Museum. So, of course, we sent Kendall to get a sneak peek. Look at this.
We call this Frozen in Time, and this is where we honor our legends, right? So each of these 6 ice columns represent our players that have retired numbers.
Okay.
And then these really cool kiosks on the side represent each of our members that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I am totally geeked out over all of this, so I want to look at some of the museum from, yours and my perspective of being really excited Vikings fans, and then kind of see that stuff that maybe, not naming names here, but Jason might be more interested in. Sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay.
There's a miscommunication with the security guards. They let him down onto the field. They thought he was an official mascot. He was just there as a fan looking great. And so after,
the dude's like, this is cool. Just go with it.
So we got a front row seat to Super Bowl in 1969. And then after that, we had him on the field with us for every game thereafter because we loved it.
That's so cool.
Isn't
I
that
love
funny?
his clearly homemade looking uniform. It's just kind of cut out of a shag carpet.
This is the real deal. That sword is also the real deal, which is why it's behind glass, because we were afraid people were going to pull it out and hurt each other.
You have chairs from every stadium the Vikings have played in. They're
We
not
do.
Oprah chairs, but I think they're next level, same thing.
They're nice chairs. What's cool about this section is almost all of the items in here came from fans. What happened on the last day of the Met is fans literally came with tools to remove and take everything they could with them. They were pulling signs off the wall. They were unbolting seats. This crossbow right above our head, the gentleman who took this actually brought a set of handcuffs and he handcuffed it to himself so that nobody could take it away from him. His daughter told us that he fought with authorities about it for about 45 minutes and then they just gave up and let him take it home because they couldn't get it off of his wrist.
You get a crossbar. You get a crossbar. You get a crossbar. You get a crossbar. I do want this in my closet.
Everybody wants this in their closet.
You should bring these back.
Oh, we've talked about it. Yeah.
I'm not playing.
That's a pretty phenomenal looking jacket. Not gonna lie to you. I shoveled the bank. You should bring that back. Vikatonics Rex, not a lot of people know about him.
Never heard of him.
He was the other purple dinosaur that was popular in the late 90s.
There's an actual giant working television, it's miniature.
We had to show them what it was gonna look like.
Oh, that's so cool.
What their view of the screen would look like.
This is like a dollhouse on crack. Sorry, Jordan. This is my other boyfriend, Stefan Diggs. Dig it. This is my impression of the Minneapolis Miracle. Oh, spin on knee. Look around. Go! This is the Minneapolis Miracle Room.
And all you need is that ball, which is the ball that won the game, to bring it in.
Wait, you went through his house?
Yeah.
With him?
With him.
You just casually slipped that in there. It's like, wait, back up.
We literally went room to room through his entire house, and there was something hidden in every room.
Oh, cool.
Just kind of these amazing stories about his life. Very few people know that Bud is the only man to ever play in both the NFL and the NBA. In fact, he was on the Minneapolis Lakers when they won the championship. This is the proclamation from the governor saying that it is officially Bud Grant Day. I found this under a bag of duck decoys in his furnace room.
Oh, like hunting duck decoys.
I was like, what's this gold frame underneath these duck decoys? And he's like, oh, that's just the proclamation of Bud Grant Day. So
well, if you don't want it.
I think we're gonna take it with us, Bud.
Hold on 1 second. Jason, Bud Grant is the homegrown glory. He played for the University of Minnesota. He played for the Lakers when they played in Minneapolis. He obviously played professional football, then went on to become the Vikings coach, and now is in the Hall of Fame. It's the end of our tour, but you can come here if you're coming to TCO to see us while we're here. Otherwise, it's open 7 days a week, open to the public. Kids 5 and under are free, and it's under $20. So really, really cool. But because we're about to go, I couldn't help but notice this beautiful purple beast.
You should get in.
Shut up, I can get in this.
Get in it. Let's go. Take her for a spin.
Oh, I don't quite fit.
Off we go. See you back at the set.
Back here live at TCO Studios. That is a lot bigger than I thought it was.
It's huge. It's like a real museum. I was really surprised to it. Even if you're not a huge Vikings fan, like I was saying, there's so much just for an average person to look at. And like even the architecture in there is like, oh, that's dope.
It's beautiful. This whole facility is. And by the way, if you're coming to visit us, like these fine folks over here this week, after the show is over, you can walk right down the campus and visit the museum after the Jason show when you come visit us this week. That's right. Coming up a little bit later, what's a Vikings food truck all about? You're going to find out as we continue live here at TCO Studios. Back after this, everybody. I want to go to that. That is cool. I want to see. I like that kind of thing, though. Welcome back, everybody. Day one, live at TCO Studios. It's going to be a fun week. Well, I don't need to tell you this. If you go down to a festival, you go down to Loring Park or St. Paul, go down to Rice Park, food trucks are more popular than ever. And now the Vikings are getting into the food truck game. Listen to this and look at this. They're serving up more than just great food, though. They're giving back. A few weeks ago, the Minnesota Vikings Foundation unveiled the Vikings Table food truck. Look at this, everybody. It's a customized Winnebago camper that will visit neighborhoods that do not have access to healthy foods, and they're going to give out free meals. Viking star Dalvin Cook is one of the players leading the way. Listen to this.
You know, you see kids that have a great opportunity of learning from this food truck of how to put stuff in your body, and you know, they're giving them a meal. So whatever chance I get to help a kid or impact a kid's life or anything like that, I'm gonna do it.
I love that. I love it. The truck is going to visit neighborhoods twice a week to serve meals during the summer. It will also be at Vikings games and other events, with money raised going directly back into the free meal program for kids. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner, give it up for Tony and Haley Fritz, everybody. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show, because you guys also own O-Cheese, which, by the way, one of the best grilled cheeses ever, but we'll get to that. What made you, how did this partnership, how did this idea come to fruition?
The Vikings kind of reached out to us with this idea, and for years we've kind of, you know, as a small business, struggled with how do we give back, how do we make the, you know, different education pieces and such. And when they reached out, it kind of was just a match made in heaven, because they wanted to do something along the lines of what we wanted to do, and they have kind of more of the mighty behind them where they can get it done. So.
And it seems that the process went pretty fast. I mean, from idea to let's do this.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, it definitely was a long process. We worked directly with Winnebago. This was the first time they've ever built a truck like this. So
seriously?
Walking through that entire process and procedure, I mean, it's a challenging thing to build a truck, and we were along for that whole 2 years of talking and kind of conversating on how to get this done. And then also the logistics. You know, you also have to figure out how you can actually do this.
And what kind of food? I mean, we're looking at some video right now. What's on the menu?
So the for-profit menu is going to be, it's kind of tailgating fare with the Minnesota flair is how we're calling it. So
love that.
It's like a tacho dish that is a tater tot hot dish, tachos, and then there's we're calling a slaw dog, and it's got an Minnesota apple slaw on it. On the hot dog.
I'm very hungry right now, so that sounds that sounds so good to me. So good to me. What was it? I would imagine it was fun coming up with this menu.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's everything that we love. We love hot dish. We love, you know, we're proud of our apples. It was a pretty easy kind of stretch into it, but doing things right and the long way and making it all from scratch is kind of what we want to do, and help, you know, with this, that whole idea too is educating on how to make this food.
Yes.
So this is all part of it. So then with the free distribution stuff that we're going to be doing, we're going to work on balanced meals and then teaching kids on how to do those balanced meals. So
because I think people have this perception of in the summer, oh, kids are fine. No, actually in the summer it's worse because they're not going to school. They don't have access to school lunches, so it's more important than ever in this season. Am I right on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Without the school lunches and everything, like the society kind of pressures kids to eat certain things because they're easy or they're hip or they're trendy or whatever. So our hope is to bring in things that are going to be really good and kind of get them into almost the culinary arts and get them kind of cooking for themselves and making things that are healthier as opposed to going and getting that fast food thing, which is just easy.
And I bet for you guys as entrepreneurs, as business owners, and I said you guys have been on the show before and you've had a lot of success, there's one thing to have people enjoy your food, write nice things on social media, but there's another thing for kids to enjoy your food and you guys know you're giving back. That has to be, I call it a different level of joy. Am I right on that?
Yeah. Definitely. It's like Haley mentioned earlier, we've wanted to do this for a long time, and so now we get the opportunity to do it, and we get to do it with people like the Minnesota Vikings and the foundation. On top of it all, it's very rewarding.
Well, guys,
very good.
Good work. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for coming back on the show.
Yeah,
thank you so much. If you missed this segment, we're going to be posting the whole thing on social media a little bit later. Just search for Jason Show on Facebook, and of course you can download full episodes of The Jason Show, no matter where we are, on YouTube. Well, as I said, we are here in Eagan all week. We're here at the TCO Studios, which is in Eagan. So we decided to take a camera and go meet our neighbors, and I brought along my radio co-host, Alexis. What happens when we go to a craft place and we have to paint things? Well, it doesn't go well, let me tell you that. No, it was a lot of fun. That when we return live from TCO Studios. Welcome back, everybody. We are live this week at the beautiful TCO Studios. Well, we figured, why not? We are here at TCO Studios for a week, which is in Eagan, and we thought, I don't spend a lot of time in Eagan. I thought, you know what? Let's grab our little family truckster. We'll grab photographer Eric and go visit our neighbors. And we went right down the road to a fabulous place called Color Me Mine. What is it all about? Well, you'll see. Look at this. Again, I'm out and about. All I'm doing is walking around the streets, meeting our neighbors. I'm really not walking around. I'm driving with photographer Eric. But here we are at Color Me Mine. I almost said Color Me Bad, like the 90s group that had like one hit. You want to take a place. But it's Color Me Mine, okay? So we're going to meet Julie, the owner, and find out what we're doing. This is a great shop. What exactly do you do?
We offer about 600 pieces, different pieces of pottery that you can choose. When you choose a piece, we have all kinds of colors that you can pick. We have stamps, stencils. You design your piece however you like. We dip it in a clear glaze. We fire it in a kiln at 1800 degrees. And then everything is usable. So you can use it to drink out of, you can use it to eat out of, you can put it in the oven. They're all everything is functional. Right.
Even the gecko, the spider gecko.
You can eat off the gecko. Yep.
We could.
If you wanted to, you could.
Okay. Now I have to ask you too. There's a rabbit here, Julie.
That would be Indigo. She's very sweet. She's gonna cuddle right up to you.
I'm scaring the
Is she
rabbit.
gnawing her teeth? That means she's happy.
No, she's.
No.
I think she's cussing.
Want to do a dramatic reveal to who you're with?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to start with
Do you
me?
want me to pop out from under the table?
Well, no, that's a lot. Girl.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll just zoom out. Look, everybody, Lex is here.
Wait, do it again.
Look, everybody, Lex is here. Let's paint. So Julie gave you your assignment. Do you remember what it is?
I blow air into the straw.
Okay.
And then I scoop out the bubbles and put them all over here. And they're going to put some really fun, inspirational, beautiful phrase on here.
And I am making the Jason Show logo on a mug. And the first thing I have to do is trace. So you just relax while I trace. You can go ahead, do your bubbles or whatever the hell you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, just blow.
I've never done this before.
I'm going to watch you do this.
Do you want to scoop out the bubbles?
No, I have a lot to do over here. You look ridiculous.
Stable hand there.
Well, except right there.
Fill that in.
Got a little messy there in a minute. It's all right. It'll come out in the wash or the kern. No, the kern.
The what?
What do they put
The
it
urinal?
in? The urinal.
What?
What do they?
The
kiln.
kiln.
The kiln. Okay.
Urinal. That's a whole nother kind of firing.
That's it. Okay. I just.
Your nose looks funk. That nose looks.
Oh God, it is a little. Oh, he does kind of look like Sloth from the Goonies.
Yeah.
Baby Ruth.
And now, the final crowning touch to this cake.
Do you want to capture the bubbles when they come out? No.
No. Okay, less is more. Less is more. Okay.
Yes.
You look like Snuffleupagus there.
Oh, that's. Oh, yes.
That's what it
this
looks-
is what it's supposed. Thank you. Okay. Nailed it. Wow.
This is literally. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is the monstrosity that Alexis made. Nailed it. Hopefully, when you see my mug, it won't look quite as awful as Alexis's pieces of art. Oh God! That's why businesses. That's why businesses should not let Alexis and me in together. We are just not. So I haven't seen what the finished creation looks like. Julie from Color Me Minds in the audience, and she brought it in. They put Sloth from the Goonies on my mug. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is so good. Ruth, baby Ruth. I love that. I'm going to drink out of this forever. Thanks to... I love it. Sincerely, thanks to Julie and our friends at Color Me Mine in Eagan. Again, we'll be posting this whole thing. We'll be posting this whole thing on our Facebook page a little bit later. And thanks to Alexis. I love you, sweetheart. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to wrap up our show here at TCO Studios when we return. Back after this. Beautiful TCO Studios. Kendall's back. Hello.
I love this color. I'm in purple. This is like
I know
our
purple's.
color.
I mean, it really is. It's the best. They don't have a. They don't have a green room here, y'all. They have a purple room. They have a purple room. That's right. They don't mess around. No, they do not. Hey, you know, earlier in the show we had David Harbour here, and we mentioned that they transformed. Yeah. How great was he, by the way?
Gosh, he was so fun.
He was great.
Hilarious.
He came to play. I always like a guest that comes to play. Well, as we mentioned, David was at the Mall of America, and they turned the Paul Bunyan in the log ride there at Nickelodeon Universe into Chief Hopper. Well, listen to this. In that commercial break, we found out that our buddy, Project Runway alum Christopher Straub, actually did the outfit for that 25-foot. Yeah. So Christopher says it took 20 yards of fabric, 34 feet of zippers, 24 feet of Velcro, and the sleeves 10 feet long on the, So thanks to Christopher. Yeah.
All those zippers, that's what I love. Like the...
Yeah. Well, as you saw, Lex and I got into a little bit of trouble here in Eagan. Well, Kendall and I got into a little mischief here at TCO Performance Center when they dared to put us in the Vikings cryo room. At negative 165. You're going to see that story coming up, but here's a little trailer. Look at this.
We're fortunate here with the Vikings that we have all the state-of-the-art equipment to help our guys recover, and the cryo chamber is an awesome tool for us. Right now it's set at minus 184 degrees.
Shut up. What's it really set at?
Okay, Rob.
Is that actually for real?
That's for real. And what that's going to do for you is going to cool down your surface body temperature. And when you do that, it aids recovery.
Here's your end-of-the-world face mask.
Why am I putting gloves on but my arms and my belly are exposed?
I wasn't scared until this moment. I will tell you, We got to go, but we were walking. That is not a joke. We did not get nervous until they told us. The guy, Rob, goes from TCO, he goes, Jason, I want you shirtless. And I go, no. Nobody wants to see that. Anyway, you'll see it on Wednesday. Before we go, everybody, give it up for our Vikings cheerleaders, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, guys. I mean, sincerely. Will you guys come back to our studio next week, please? Thank you, yes. That is going to do it for us today here at TCO Studios. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to this incredible audience, and we'll see a new round of folks tomorrow. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow live from